What up, everyone? So, got another collectible review here. And what this is the pint-sized heroes. And I'm actually doing all of them at once. Normally, I don't do this. I keep them separate. But they're all pretty much the same. They're all pretty much the same thing, or at least the same concept idea, to the point where I can review them as a whole, and I don't need to separate it between franchises. So that's going to be Spider-Man, Batman, and Power Rangers. Those are the 3 series out right now. They also have Five Nights at Freddy's, but I haven't personally collected any of those ones, but I'm assuming same general concept, so we can loop that in with everything too. So overall, honestly, I've really fallen in love with this series. I think it's pretty cool. And I think, in my opinion, this is what Dorbs should have been. I think a lot of people's problems with Dorbs is that they cost almost the same price as pop figures. And that's, I think, what a lot of people had a problem with. They didn't like oversimplify things for the same price. And I like these because they're simple. They're simple intentionally so. They're simplicity because people just don't have the means or the technical skill to apply it, and they're simple on purpose just to be cute and adorable. Like the Dorbs. That's where the name comes from. Adorable. So people are so funny. The average collector is so stupid. Like, so many people are dumb that people are so into pop figures, but they hated Dorbs because they looked weird and they were too simplistic. And I'm like, that's what pop figures are. They are simplistic and they are cheap looking. That's the point. But people are just so dumb. They're so caught up in a specific thing that they have to collect one. It's like, don't waste my time. So anyway, I really like these because they're oversimplistic, because they're cheaper. It's a fun little collectible that's not going to break the bank. They fit nicely on my shelves, and I really love the characters. I think it's really cool. I think both of the franchises they did were good. And I'll be perfectly honest, when I first saw this series announced on Funko's website months and months ago, I thought it was really stupid. I thought it was a big waste of time, kind of like the My Emojis one. It's fun and stuff, and it's cool, but it just seemed like filler, and it just didn't seem worthwhile at all. Then I picked up a few of the Spider-Man ones for a really cheap price. Someone sold some blind bags, a lot of them for a really cheap price. So I checked them out, and then I really started to like them. I kind of liked them more and more. And now I'm really into them, and I saw the announcement of the Street Fighter series coming up, and those look awesome. I love that series. I think it looks really cool. They have a Disney one coming up too. I think that one looks good as well. But I'm just not a big fan of some of the characters they picked. I think there are a lot better Disney characters they could have chose, but that's just a personal opinion. That's the only qualm I have with that series. It still looks cool, though. I'll definitely collect at least a few of those. So, the problem with this is, normally when I do a review, I'll do like a box layout as well and tell you how to get the figures you want. The problem with these is you can't really do that. So, the good news is they're cheap, so they're not going to totally empty your wallet. The bad news is it's kind of hard to collect them. You kind of have to get a full box, and that's the only way. For specific characters, you can feel around, like the Power Rangers one for Goldar. He's very obvious what character he is, so you can feel which one he is and pick him out. But other than that, pretty much all the Rangers are very similar shaped, and they have very minor detail changes, but it's extremely difficult to tell that from the bag. You could, but you're going to spend like 4 hours trying to feel around, so you can do that, but some you absolutely can't, like the Spider-Man. There's a normal Spider-Man, there's a metallic Spider-Man, there's the black suited Spider-Man, there's the Miles Morales Spider-Man, all the exact same shape. It is physically impossible to tell the difference just by feeling them. So my personal advice to you, don't go through and try to buy each individual one and try to feel it out. The best way to do it is to just buy a full case. And yeah, it's going to be expensive, but you can try your best to feel the characters out and open them up, and then the ones you don't want, either keep them sealed and sell them as a lot, or sell the individual characters. And they do have different rarities. It's either 1 of 12 or 1 of 24. And they also did exclusives as well. So that's where it becomes pretty difficult to get them, because if you get one full case, try to get exclusives, then you got to go buy them separately. And again, luckily, people sell them online for pretty cheap, so it's not that big of a deal. One other thing to note that they didn't mention in the series is that I put these two out specifically to prove my point. The box that you buy them in has a little window display here, as you guys have seen, and there's 2 figures on display. Of those figures, there are some that aren't in the series. They're part of the series. They're on the checklist. They're on the picture when you see it. They're often on the picture on the box as well. but you can pull as many as you want, you'll never get one. And it's so fucked. And I think this was a mistake by Funko. I can't imagine them doing that on purpose, because that seems like a bad business strategy. And you can't buy, some companies won't sell you the display, so they won't sell it to you unless you buy the whole box. So, and that's the black and white Harley Quinn and the metallic Spider-Man. The only way you can get them is by begging the store owner to let you have it, or be the last one to purchase a figure in that box and take the box. Other than that, you'd have to buy a complete box from the manufacturer or something like that, because you can't get them anywhere else. And they don't mention that. And I got screwed, and so did everyone else, because I was buying figures and buying the bags, and I'm noticing, like, where the hell is this metallic Spider-Man? I've bought more than enough. I have all the rest. Where is he? And then someone told me, like, I looked it up and it said display only, and I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. I heard that about the Harley Quinn. I didn't know the Spider-Man was the same story, so I got a little bit screwed on that. But luckily I noticed it quick enough, because I bought a whole case of the DC, and I went to my local comic shop and just begged the guy. I brought a girl with me that was pretty, so she kind of talked to the guy, and I think that's the only reason, because the person working there was a very lonely comic book guy, and I think he was just happy to be talking to a girl. But we had to, like, finesse him. I'm like, yo, can I get that one? Like, I'll pay for it. Like, I'll switch it out for a normal Spider-Man. And I had to, like, beg him so much. But I finally did get it, so whatever. And I think it's the same. I can't confirm. I'm pretty sure it's the same with the Power Rangers. I think it's the Green Ranger that's only in there. I'm not totally sure. I haven't started collecting that full series yet. I just got Goldar because he looked really cool. But yeah, so just something to note. Super fucked up. Really messed up for them to do that, have it on the checklist, but you can only get it that way. So keep your eye out. Something to note as you're collecting it. So yeah, let's get into the actual review of this and start throwing out some numbers. So I always do this in 3 different categories: concept, paint, and sculpt. So concept design is the first one, and that's just the overall look and feel of it, what you enjoy about it, just overall presentation. And I really like it. I like this. Like I was saying, they're very simplistic, but it's not an accident. They do this on purpose to show just very simplistic figures. And it's kind of cool, and it really made me appreciate it when I saw the Street Fighter ones. And that was because I explained in the video, the Funko announcement one, it's the whole juxtaposition of Street Fighter characters who are all mega buffed out characters. They're super gnarly, badass characters. It's just funny to see them in this like little weeble form with no muscles and just very simplistic features. I like that. I like sometimes oversimplification, and I like small figures. So I think that's funny. I think it's funny to see them that way. It's cool to see them buffed out in sculptures, but also in just cute little adorables. And if they release a horror series, it'll probably be the same. I hope they do that. I hope they make those characters like really, really bloody, because that'll be funny to see these like little bloody characters. So that's why I like them, and I think that's what they were going for. Like I said, when they created the Dorbs figures, I think this is the market they were going for. I think they just made them too big. They made them too close to pop size, so I think that was a mistake. I think they should have just gone this route and kept it that way. Because I like Dorbs too, but they're often too expensive. They're $8 or $9, which is what pops are. And I think they should have been more like $5 or $6, in my opinion. I think people would have liked them more at that price point. These are only 3 to 4. I think that's good. I think they should do a lot more like this, less of the Dorbs. They're bigger anyway, and I don't really care about it. So yeah, overall design and concept, I'm actually going to give it a 7, because I like what they're going for. I see what they're going for. It's funny. It's entertaining. Makes me smile. Makes me happy when I look at them. They fit nicely on a shelf. They display perfectly. Like, I think they did a good job of purposely oversimplifying these characters to make them look funny and adorable. So 7 out of 10, I think they did a good job. But yeah, so that's what I'll give them. Obviously, it would have got a higher score, but you know, I can't give it too high because they are very simplistic. Obviously, the higher scores go for more high-end detail stuff, but you know, I still get what they were going for and like it. Next, the paint job. This is something I'll have to talk about because there is... That was a weird noise. There is actually a paint job on these figures. So they are painted, but there's also stickers for a lot of the facial features. Now you'll remember in the X-Men series, they're sitting above me here, that I did not like that. I don't like when they have the stickers on the face, but I do make an exception for small figures. Normally I hate it when they do that for mystery minis because they have room to sculpt and paint, and they should. That's them being lazy. That's them oversimplifying because they don't want to. That's different. These figures, when you get this tiny, like literally less than half the size of some mystery minis, Here's where you're at the point where it's like, you can paint faces on, but it's going to be a little too hard to, and I can see a million problems going wrong because Funko sucks at painting. So this is where I would say the one opportunity where it's okay to use the stickers, because it is so incredibly tiny, and you get much better detail with the sticker at a small size than you do paint. Normally I'm all for paint, but you can get all the little details in there with just the sticker. But the good news is they still do paint it. So it's not all just colored plastic. They actually do a paint job on there, which is really nice as well. So the costume is all paint job, the face is all paint, which is good. So, but you know, it's Funko and they do have their minor flaws. Not as much as I thought though. I took a good look at most of them. Paint flaws are pretty minor. There are some that go a little bit out of the line here and there, but they did a decent job on it. So it's not horrible. It's not great, obviously, but it's not horrible either. And I like the way the stickers they do use for some of the designs. They did a pretty good job on that too. So paint-wise, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Because it's not overly complicated what they have to paint, but it still looks good, but there are some flaws, so it's like back and forth. So like right in that middle, 5 out of 10 is fair enough. Then the sculpt. So again, very easy to sculpt these because they're so simplistic, but of what they do sculpt, they do a decent job. Like, for example, Batman has his pointy ears. They are very pointy, and that's a lot of times what I mean. If you're trying to make something look pointy, is it actually pointy or is it curved? So it's just like that sculpt of it actually getting it to a point, and they do a good job. And there are minor details in the faces and things like that. Like all of them, like Two-Face has a cool hairstyle thing, and they do it really well. So I think they do a good job at it. It was just not that hard to do. So I'm going to give them a 6 out of 10 on that because they did a good job on the sculpt, but you can't give them too high of a score because it's such an easy job to sculpt them, so kind of hard to judge it on that. But they did a good job, and overall I really like them. And they do a decent job on all the characters. Basically all the bodies are the same, and they just change the heads, much like Pop figures were, for people that are going to complain about it. Pop figures were the same way, guys. They all have the same body and just slightly different heads. Just saying. Anyway. Yeah, all the same body and a different head, but they do a good job of not just painting a circular head. They give it texture. Harley Quinn has the ears, Batman has the ears, Two-Face has the hair, Riddler has the hat, Penguin has the hat, and one's like the Spider-Gwen, she has her hood, and the Lizard one's really cool. That has a ton of texture on his face. And then Venom has his tongue, Anti-Venom has teeth in there, so they do put some sculpture detail in there. And it looks still very adorable. So overall, I liked him. I like this series, and I think a lot of other people do too. And I'm super psyched about the Street Fighter series that's coming up. So overall score, I didn't do the math beforehand. Let's see, 18. So overall score is going to be a 6, I think. So 5, 11, 18. Yeah, overall score is a 6. Math is the power. Yeah. So that's going to be the overall score is a 6. And that's because I don't think a lot of people are going to like them, because I know some people only go for high-end quality, and it's fine. I totally get that. I just did the Brad Pitt one, and this is like the polar opposite of it. But I get both ends. This is exactly what I've always said. I either like really small or really big. High-end, high detail, and that's what I go for, or very small, oversimplistic, just keep it the basic, but do a good job. And I think that's what they did. And I like it because it starts out as just a fun thing for like $3. You walk in a store and just like, yeah, toss it in your bag. Why not? Collect a couple of them. And then I kind of start to grow on me, and I'm like, oh, Lizard looks cool, or Venom looks cool, I gotta get that. And then before I know it, I have like half the series, and it's like, well, I might as well collect the rest of it. So, terrible logic, by the way. Don't follow my logic. Only do what you want to do. But yeah, I'm very excited for it. Good news. I have a lot of extras and duplicates of these figures, and there's ones I'm looking for. So if anyone out there wants to trade, let me know. So ones I have duplicates of are most of the DC ones. I have a duplicate of everything in there, including 2 of the Hot Topic exclusives, not the rare one, the 1 of 12 Hot Topic exclusive. I have duplicates of that. I also have a duplicates of the exclusive Anti-Venom that glows. I have a lot of Venom and a lot of other characters from Spider-Man. So if anyone out there has them, the ones I'm looking for are the DC ones, the Magic 3. I got the Hot Topic one. I need the 3 from GameStop, and then the 3 that aren't from anything in exclusive, which are oddly really hard to get, which is weird, but you know, whatever. Like Nightwing, impossible to get. Can't find a listing anywhere. And that's the one that's like normal. It's not even exclusive, so that's what I thought was weird about it. But Anyway, those are the ones I need, and then the one Spider-Man I need is the Superior Spider-Man from GameStop. I have all the other Spider-Man ones, and then I need those DC ones. So if anyone out there has them, wants to trade, wants to buy the ones I have, the duplicates, let's get it going. Let's get this community going and see what we can do from it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope this opened your eyes to it for people who haven't seen it. And I'm really excited to check out the new series from it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments and what you want to see next. Next should be another unboxing, so we'll see where that goes. Thank you all for watching. Love you all. Peace.